Welcome to another episode of the War Central Podcast. I am your host, Ricky Valero. The Golden Globe nominations were just announced. And folks, we got a lot to say to unpack about everything that just transpired. As always, joined by my podcast partner, Benji. How are you, man?
Very good, thanks, sir. This is my favorite time of year, so I'm glad. I'm glad we're finally in the meat of it. I'm very excited to talk about these noms. Very, very, very excited.
Yeah, it's definitely some interesting picks across the board and some fun, I guess interesting is probably the word that I'll continue to use throughout this entire time because that's exactly what it is interesting to say the least. And we'll talk about some of the big ones. But before we get into some of the bigger categories, any of the categories like kind of the below the line stuff that surprised you at all?
Below the line, actually, to be fair, for the most part, it went as I expected. The only below the line category that really threw me off was best original score. I got 4 out of 6. I'm sure it's only just happened, and I've got a lot going through my head, so I need my memory jogged a little bit what they were. That was the only one that really took me by surprise. Best original song. I surprised myself with 5 out of 6 because I kind of just winged it, to be honest with you. The only thing I will say is that Dreamers won from Avatar. I knew they were going to do. The Globes may have changed a little bit. Well, no, actually, to be fair in them, they've changed quite a lot since a few years ago, but they still have some of their old Globes traits about them. And one of them is they love celebrities. So they had an opportunity to nominate Miley Cyrus. They were going to do it.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. It's definitely not too surprised. Again, here we go. I fucking got one. Thank God. I got the press release. What I was waiting for, everybody. So, was waiting for a press release as it came in, and it has come in for me. Very, very excited about it. For motion picture, Neon got 21 nominations. Warner Brothers 16, Netflix 13, Focus Feature 10, A24 7, Disney was 6. That's just what I'm reading off the top there. But it's definitely interesting to see here. We're going to read off the nominations. I'm going to read off, let's see here. Let me cut off TV. Nobody cares. So I'm just going to read off the couple of the below the line ones before we dive into the bigger categories, folks, in just a second. I'm just going to read them off. So for those of you that did not watch, let's see here. I just pressed something that made me lose my nominations. All right, so let's start bottom here. It looks like song is first. So Dream is 1, Avatar, Fire and Ash, Golden, K-pop Demon Hunters, I Lied to You, Sinners, No Place Like Home, Wicket for Good, The Girl in the Bubble, Wicket for Good, Train Dreams, for score, out Frankenstein, Sinners, One Battle After Another, Surat, Hamnet, and F1. Best Screenplay Motion Picture, Paul Thomas Anderson, One Battle After Another, Marty Supreme, Sinners, It Was Just an Accident, Sentimental Value, Hamnet. They only do one screenplay category, right? I forgot about that.
Yeah, correct.
And then the rest are kind of the bigger categories. So we'll start off obviously with Best Director. One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson, Ryan Coogler, Sinners, Guillermo del Toro, Frankenstein, Jafar Pahani, It Was Just an Accident, Joachim Trier for Sentimental Value, Chloe Zhao for Hamnet. I don't really feel like there's any much of a surprise here. Any thoughts on the director category?
So I was 5 out of 6. I got Far and Food. It Was Just an Accident. I had Safdie in for Marty Supreme. That, to be fair, I was quite surprised about. I thought that 6 was going to be so solid going into Golden Globes, but it does beg the question with Marty Supreme not making it in director and nowhere to be seen in supporting actress. Is it as strong as people are making it out to be, or are we going to see it kind of slip down the polls as the next couple of months go on?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it still stays strong. It's Gwyneth Paltrow, it's her return and stuff like that. But like director, Golden Globes have been inspired choices over the last few years. They were inspired, but they weren't inspired almost. You know what I mean? Because Joachim seemed like a good. I thought he was a lock. Pahani is really having like a strong week and a half, I would say. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he's had such a strong few days. You know what I mean? Like it's maybe even a few days, and so it was just an accident. Is finding the rhythm at the right time as well. How it translates going to be the biggest thing I think for it, but they definitely showcased that film quite a bit. You know what I mean? And Neon got lots of love. You know what I mean? So that's not really surprising at all. Where a lot of people were expecting it. There were several films that kind of underperformed, but we'll talk about those in a minute. But yeah, I mean, director is pretty much. I think we're looking at our 6. You got 6 plus. I think Safdie is 7. I think that's the 7 that we're going to get to choose from when it comes Oscar morning. You know what I mean? I feel like that's our 7 we're going to choose from, and 5 of those 7 will be wrapped up in that.
No doubt.
I really feel like if I was throwing a dart against the wall right now, my predictions would probably be Paul Tom, PTA, Coogler, Pinat, Jafar, Schreier, and Zhao. That would be my 5.
Yeah, I agree. Safdie definitely number 6, but that's my 5 for now as well.
And Del Toro's wrapped up in there too. I just don't know if that's going to get the director. I don't know if director is going to make sense for that film with the Academy. I could be wrong. I think you could Safdie or Del Toro, but I don't think that's him. I think that's our Oscar 5 right now, in my opinion.
The DGAs, I think, will go for Del Toro, but will it actually happen at the Oscars? No. The DGAs usually go 4 out of 5, and I feel like that'll be their kind of like one special pick. That being said, though, I said the same last year about James Mangold, and then look what happened. So you never well and truly know. But if I had to make a guess right now, I don't actually think it's going to be another year for Del Toro. He's going to do well, but I don't think it's going to happen in director.
Comment. I thought they were going to be more aggressive with the Secret Agent. I thought so too, but I think that it's just going head to head against 2 other foreign films that are strong. I think that's what the Secret Agent may be in another year, but this is just not the year. I think that it has that pizzazz that some of these other foreign films have right now. You know what I'm saying?
And to be fair, I think the Secret Agent still did well. It got into 3 main categories, which is good going. It's clearly getting attention.
For sure. But I just think in the other categories, it's harder to battle. All right. I think for best supporting actor, I really feel like we have our 6. You just have to knock one of them. We have one of them we just have to knock out to make our Oscar 5. But the nominees for the Golden Globes were Benicio del Toro, Jacob Elordi, Paul Mescal, Sean Penn, Adam Sandler, Stellan Skarsgård. I really feel like the last slot is either for Jacob Elordi or Adam Sandler. Mm-hmm. The other 4 are locks for the Oscars.
Who would you say if you had to choose right now? Because
today,
I think Frankenstein is stronger than J. Kelly.
Today, I say Adam Sandler. Tomorrow, I'll probably say Jacob Elordi. You know what I mean? I just feel like that's where we're at. I genuinely feel that way. You know what I mean?
The thing is, I think Sandler's going to get in at SAG. BAFTA, I'm not so sure on. But if Sandler gets in for BAFTA, we'll be having a very different conversation because that would be mega for him to get in at BAFTA. But yeah, no, I think if I had guns to my head right now, had to choose, I'd say Elordi.
Yeah, it's a hard balance because J. Kelly got a lot more love than I was kind of maybe anticipating today. It got a lot of love today. You know what I mean? And so it's interesting. I think the battle here. Best performance by a lead or a female supporting actress. There were 6 nominees. Obviously, the biggest surprise of the morning was Emily Blunt for The Smashing Machine. I didn't have the balls to predict her, but I did feel like the Globes loves Emily Blunt. The Globes loves Emily Blunt. If everybody remembers correctly, they love Emily Blunt. But Emily Blunt, The Smashing Machine, Elle Fanning, Sentimental Value, Ariana Grande, Wicked for Good, Inga for Sentimental Value, Amy Madigan for Weapons, Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another. Obviously, we're going to take Emily Blunt out of the picture because she's not in the Oscars conversation at all. But for me, if you add Wunema, I think that's our 6. But I really feel like this is our 5. Fanning, Grande, Inga, Amy, Tiana.
Yeah, no, that's our 5. The real question now is, though, I don't want to jump ahead to a later on category, but Wicked seems to be deeply fucked. It underperformed at Critics' Choice. It's severely underperformed here. Who's actually going to win Best Supporting Actress now? So I know me and you have both predicted Tiana Taylor, and so far she's still my number 1. But when you look at the critic circles, Benicio del Toro has still been winning more awards than Tiana Taylor, and so is Sean Penn. It makes me think, what if Amy Madigan, in like some crazy leap of faith, actually takes takes the lead, and we end up seeing her come Oscar night being the front runner.
I don't know, man. I just don't know how I feel about that. I don't hate the idea. I love the idea. I love it. You know what I mean? I love the idea of her winning. I just don't know. I don't think so. I don't. I think that honestly, if there's going to be somebody that's going to win supporting actress that's not Tiana Taylor, I really feel like Ariana Grande is going to win.
I just don't think she will, because I think she did. I think she had a better chance last year.
I disagree, and I'll tell you why. Because everybody believes that is Ariana Grande's film. Like, if you talk to anybody, a lot of people think that she's miscategorized already. You know what I mean? With where she's at. I mean, everybody says that she's the lead for Wicked, which, you know, kind of isn't wrong. You know what I mean? But, you know, we know how that goes. But I don't know. It'd be interesting. I think it's, for me, I believe it's Tiana's to lose right now. I just don't. I believe Amy ranks 5th here, or maybe 4. Maybe 4.
I'd go as far to say she's number 2.
No, I don't. I just
Tiana
don't
Taylor,
see it.
Amy Madigan.
This is one battle that we're gonna have after another throughout the season.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to chat more about it. But
this is going to be a really interesting conversation.
Now, obviously, for lead performances, they're split up into 2 categories. So we have 12 names, 5 slots. So we'll talk about those. But let's talk about musical comedy: Chalamet, Clooney, DiCaprio, Hawk, Lee Byung-hun, and Jesse Plemons. And then for drama, it was Edgerton, Isaac, Dwayne Johnson, Michael B. Jordan, Wagner Moura, Jeremy Allen White. I'm just going to throw the names out there. You could just agree with me. These are the names that I think have no impact on the Oscars: Jeremy Allen White, Oscar Isaac, Dwayne Johnson, Jesse Plemons. So then and I don't know. I think throw Joel Edgerton out the door too. I don't feel confident.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think Train Dreams could end up getting a Best Picture nomination at the end of the day, but I feel like it's gonna. If it does, my inkling right now tells me it'll probably be another Nickel Boys, where it gets into 1, maybe 2 other categories than Best Picture. I don't think it's gonna have like an amazing Oscar nomination tool.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the battle. I don't know if I don't buy the Ethan Hawke thing. I don't think either. I don't buy it. I think it's like
no. I don't know.
It's a weird anomaly. I mean, what Chalamet, Clooney, DiCaprio, Michael B. Jordan, Wagner Moura. I mean, shit, that might be the 5.
I think that probably is the 5.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
because you know, we've had Clooney, Alan White, Johnson all drop off predictions. With the addition of Michael B. Jordan, which is awesome, I think it leaves space for Wagner Moura now, which is again awesome.
Yeah, I still think Clooney's going to be nominated at the Oscars. I know you missed CCA. I still think Clooney's getting an Oscar nomination. I think Jay Kelly's going to be the movie that overperforms. I think it's going to be the Netflix film that overperforms.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't want to be wrong, and then you have it wrong in my face. But
that's going to happen regardless, and I don't really care about that. So I mean, you miss 99% of the shots you don't take. So yeah,
that's well, yeah, exactly that. That's very fair point to make. Yeah, I mean, the problem is though is that when you say overperformed, what categories was the best nominations morning Jay Kelly could have?
I mean, I guess screenplay. I mean 4 or 5 is what I think overperforming. I mean, not like much more than that. I think screenplay, actor, supporting actor, picture. I think that's 4 right there, right? That's probably the only 4. I guess maybe overperforming was a misstatement, I guess maybe. But yeah. So lead actress, we had 12 nominees for musical or comedy. Rose Byrne, Cynthia Rovia, Kate Hudson popped up, which is hilarious. Chase Infinity, Amanda Seyfried, Emma Stone, Jessie Buckley, Jennifer Lawrence, Renata Reinsve, Julia Roberts, Tessa Thompson, and Eva Victor. What are your thoughts on these 12?
So for comedy musical, I actually got 6 out of 6. I knew they wouldn't be able to help themselves with Kate Hudson. And then for drama, I got 5 out of 6. And that's because I predicted Jodie Foster, but Eva Victor took her space instead, which I am more than happy with.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I'm not mad at any of these. I like Tessa Thompson showing up for Hedda. I appreciated that. Everybody was kind of predicting it because when you break it down to 12 nominations, you're going to get a lot of them. Yeah. I did watch Song Song Blue, and I wanted to drive my car through. If you watch the trailer and the car hits Kate, you see the spoiler of Kate Hudson getting hit by the car. I wish that was me getting hit by the car instead, watching that movie. But it is terrible. But I think Oscar 5-ish, 5-ish. I think Renata's safe, right? You know what I mean? That's 1. Jessie Buckley's safe. That's 2. You have Rose Byrne, I think, is starting to become safe. That's 3. Is Chase Infinity starting to come around? Are you starting to come around on her being in the 5?
I am now, actually, to be honest. She's not like strong in there. She's definitely 5 or 6. But as things start to clear up and people who we thought were once nominated are kind of now not a part of the race, and I kind of see, and with Benicio del Toro as well popping up in supporting actor, it kind of makes me think that it's only natural that she will probably come along for the ride. So yeah, I will surrender. I have come around to the idea a lot more now.
Yeah, I do agree here. Good comment here about I don't see Wake in the Best Picture. She doesn't have the body work, so I have Amy Magda winning and makeup. That's not a bad 1-2 there. All right.
Nope,
yeah, for me, I mean, could Rose Byrne win the Oscar? Is the next question.
No, I think it's definitely Jessie Buckley. I think she's so far ahead in the lead for that. If you go on all, I mean, I'm not trying to say that this means it's absolutely going to happen, but when you go on all betting sites, Jessie Buckley's so far out in the lead that if you were to bet $1, you'd make 10 cents back. She's just so out there in the lead.
I don't disagree, but I'm definitely intrigued. I think. Actually going to look at that.
He's taking me to task now. He's going to see what the odds are.
I am actually going to see that. Minus 250. It's not bad. That's not super high. Minus 250 is not that high.
I just so think Jessie Buckley's winning. That's everything you need to do to win Best Actress and more. I mean, really strong, raw, emotional performance in a top 3 movie in Best Picture. Period movie.
Oh, I'm not disagreeing with you. I just don't want her to win.
So
I don't know.
I'd prefer Rose Byrne to win. I don't disagree, but I just do think it.
I'd prefer Amanda Seyfried. I think Amanda Seyfried gives the best.
In fact, I don't even. Yeah, I'd even say that as well. But I don't think if I had to choose number 2, it would probably be Renata Reinsve.
Yeah, I agree.
No,
just because
I think she'll get in for actress, but that'll be it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree. I do think Rose Byrne's creeping up on her, though.
We'll see what happens. I mean, I think SAG could potentially surprise with Rose Byrne. That seems like something that they would do. But and this is the other thing, and I say this every single year. BAFTA is so ridiculously strong at predicting Best Actress to the point it's insane. And I'm almost certain Jessie Buckley's going to win BAFTA, and it's kind of end of story at that point.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Because BAFTAs, there was that one year when they had the jury and none of the Oscar nominees were even nominated.
Yeah, Buckley's
and then we had the year of Kate Blanchett versus Michelle Yeoh.
Somebody commented Buckley's not sweeping. She hasn't won a single major critic award.
Oh, sorry.
Rose Byrne is poised to win the trifecta, and plus NBR, she'll win comedy.
That's just the same as Marion Jean-Baptiste last year. I don't take a lot of stock into that. The critic circles can be telling if something's so overwhelmingly in the lead, but more often than not, it doesn't tie up oh so well when it comes to the Oscars. What really matters, I mean, critic circles more than anything else are just kind of fun, just to kind of see how they think that the season is going. But really, it all comes down to the precursors, as far as I'm concerned.
My big thing though is she's not winning anything. Like, and that's where I know I know the critics ballots or whatever it was, but the problem is she's not winning really much of anything, and that's the problem I think that I have with like Buckley. I don't think this movie's it's gonna get the nominations, right? You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, it's gonna get a lot of nominations, and it's probably gonna get. I just don't think it's as strong as I just don't feel like it's as strong as everybody thinks it is. I don't think it's like 3 in Best Picture. I don't think it is. You know, I just feel like there's other movies that are much stronger than this one. And that doesn't mean Buckley's not going to win. I think that she still, I mean, it's very much could win. She probably is the favorite. I mean, not probably, she is the favorite. However, I do think it's a little bit closer as each week goes by. I do think that she could win some big ones along the way. I wouldn't be surprised. Now, obviously, if we're looking at the totality of the film, like Rose Byrne doesn't really have a whole lot going for her. What other nominations is it going to get, et cetera, et cetera? You know what I mean?
Exactly,
what does that look like? You know what I mean? That's the big problem that we have here.
And for the record, I'd like to see Rose Byrne win, but I just don't think it's going to happen. But then, and then I look at all the other nominees, and I think, well, who could realistically win? I'd say the number 2 is probably Renata Reinsve, but even still, I don't think her time's come around. And when you compare her performance to Jessie Buckley's, it tells you a very different story. And I wouldn't expect for one moment Oscar voters are going to want to go for Reinsve over Jessie Buckley. And then Chase Infinity is just there for the nomination.
See, my thing is this. I don't think Buckley's that good in that movie. So that's where I stuck. And then that's not just and obviously it's just my opinion. But when you look at the performance, in my opinion, Rose Byrne's performance is circles around, I think, almost everybody in this category, in my opinion, except for Seyfried. I think Seyfried does give the best performance of the year. I think she gives probably my favorite performance alongside Sean Penn, like, of the year. But I'm talking like the legitimately aspect of winning the Oscar. I just think Rose Byrne's closer to Buckley than you think she is. And obviously over the next few weeks we'll see how that plays out. But I think Rose Byrne wins Critics' Choice. I think Rose Byrne
has a better chance of winning SAG. Yeah, that's what I think. Critics' Choice are a lot more in line with the Oscars than people realize. They gave it to Renee Zellweger. They gave it to they gave it to Emma Stone. They gave it to who was last year's winner. That's gone over my head completely. Oh no, they didn't give it to Mikey Madison, to be fair, actually. So yeah, there is some stock in what you're saying, but again, I'm not going to lie to you, Ricky. I'm taking a lot of my stock in the fact that they are just ridiculous. The BAFTAs are ridiculously good at predicting Best Actress, and I'm almost certain they're going to give it to Jessie Buckley.
Yeah, I mean, well, Demi Moore won last year, by the way, too. Yeah, for Critics' Choice.
Yeah, you're right. She did.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they did give Chu Best Director, but that's a different conversation for a different day.
Oh my God, that's for like
I won't say nothing. I won't say anything else about that. All right, moving right along. Best Motion Picture Drama, Best Motion Picture Musical and Comedy. We have our 12 nominees here. Frankenstein, Hamnet, It Was Just an Accident, Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners. So let's start there on the drama side of things. We agree that it's probably, I'd say those 6 are best in right now. Yeah.
The only one I'm not sure of is Secret Agent. The other 5,
Secret Agent. Yeah. Other 5, yes.
The other 5, I think, are in, even though It Was Just an Accident, Another Choice, and Secret Agent all circling each other. I'd like to see all 3 of them get in. I'm not sure whether we're going to see 3 international features get in. We've had 2 consistently over the past couple of years, so maybe it's not unrealistic to say 3. But yeah, no, I still do think those five are very like. I mean, most certainly will get in. It was just an accident, likely. The secret agent is like a maybe, but
It's a
it's
fringe.
a good,
Yeah.
it's a good bunch, of movies.
Blue Moon, Begonia, Marty Supreme, No Other Choice, Noel Vague, which was surprising, and One Battle
Really
After
surprising.
Another.
So I got 4 out of 6 in this one. I did not think that Nouvelle Vague or what was the other movie?
Blue Moon.
Blue Moon. Yeah, I didn't think they were going to get him.
Yeah, there's definitely interesting choices there.
Nouvelle Vague is really interesting. That's like a very artsy fartsy movie, which the Globes don't tend to really like that much.
Yeah, which kind of surprised me because I mean, Jay Kelly missed, Testament of Van Lee missed, and then of course the big one that missed was Wicked, which is crazy that Nouvelle Vague hit, but Wicked did not.
Wicked is deeply fucked at the moment. It's going to have to really do something to get back into Best Picture at this point. I mean, it had to probably get BAFTA and PGA at this point to make me think it'll get. And if it gets PGA, then I'll probably have it like my number 10 or 11. But oh my god, man! I mean, just a couple of weeks ago, I thought it was probably going to perform on par with the first one, and it's just as these reactions start coming in and the reviews and the box office and everything, we're starting to see that when Wicked 2 was first released, it was very front loaded, and then after a week, it just completely dropped off because all of like the fans and the hype made that first week. But then after that, there was no consistency.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking good. I was kind of sad not to see Jay Kelly here too.
Yeah,
that's another one. Yeah, I just
Kelly,
don't understand.
I actually really like. They
Jay
don't
Kelly's
always
been
make
phenomenal.
sense, and oh, I completely agree. And you know, for the record, I'm more than happy that the Golden Globes have added more international voters. But yeah, that was clearly the international team getting Nouvelle Vague, because the old Golden Globes would have never in a million fucking years have put Nouvelle Vague and Blue Moon in and snubbed Wicked for good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that to me also shows the just baffling pick for best for, well, I mean, because it got Critics' Choice, you know what I mean? Obviously the actor or best picture went for Critics' Choice, which still makes me mad. But for Wicked for good. But it is what it is, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You know, what can you do? Yeah, but so just
I mean, hey Ricky.
Oh.
Do you remember when I first started doing this with you way back when, and it was the year that Music got nominated in Best Comedy Musical and Actress?
Yes, I do remember that.
That we've come a long way since then.
We've come a long way. I do agree with that 100%. It's definitely interesting to see some of these different avenues here, but yeah, it was definitely an interesting morning. Obviously, this shapes things up. You can expect to hear from Benji and I in the very near future, breaking down our latest Oscar predictions. We'll have another Oscar prediction show soon for you guys, where we're navigating some of our top choices for the year. And then, of course, right around the corner, we'll have a prediction show for the Globes, and then we'll have a prediction show for Critics' Choice as well. But we appreciate you guys tuning in, jumping in, watching the show this morning, and we'll talk to you guys very soon.
See you later, folks.